Liam was not like the other humans. So while most people stayed in the safe zones, he always wanted to go beyond. He was an explorer, a space scout who loved to find lost places. One day, while flying over the planet Arva 9, his ship began to shake. A sudden lightning storm hit his shuttle, and the controls failed. His ship crashed into a deep forest near a mountain no one had ever explored before. When Liam woke up, he saw strange clouds over the mountain. The sky above it was dark, even though the sun was shining everywhere else. His ship was broken, but he was alive. He checked his bag and took his scanner. As he walked toward the mountain, he saw a group of local villagers nearby. They looked scared when they saw where Liam was going. "Don't go there," an old woman warned him. "That mountain is cursed." Many went up, but none came back. Liam was curious. "Why? What's up there?" The woman looked into his eyes. "A woman, a dangerous one. She was chained there a long time ago. Some say she still waits." He thanked her, but didn't stop. He had heard many stories during his travels, but this one felt different. There was something strange in the air, a whisper, like a voice calling his name. As he climbed the mountain, the trees changed. Their leaves were black, and the ground felt warm under his feet. The wind howled like it was alive. Still, he moved forward. After hours of climbing, he reached a huge stone door carved into the mountain. Symbols glowed faintly on the surface of old alien runes he had never seen before. He reached out and placed his hand on the cold stone. Suddenly, the runes began to glow bright blue. The mountain shook a little. Liam tried to move back, but his hand was stuck. Then he heard it. A voice, soft, broken, female, "Who touches the seal?" Liam pulled his hand back. The runes went dark for a second, then lit up again, even brighter than before. The door slowly opened with a loud rumble. Dust and cold air rushed out. Inside was darkness. He stepped in, flashlight in hand. The chamber was huge, walls covered with crystals. At the center of the room, chained to a glowing rock wall, was a figure, a woman. Her skin was pale like snow, her long hair glowing faintly like moonlight. She wore strange clothes made of silver cloth. Her eyes were closed. Her arms were stretched, held by chains made of light. She wasn't human, but she was beautiful. And still, Liam took a step closer. His scanner beeped. She was alive. "Hello?" he whispered. No answer. He looked at the chains. They pulsed with energy, something old and powerful. Maybe it was magic. Maybe alien tech. He didn't know. He reached out carefully and touched her hand. The moment his fingers touched her skin, the ground shook. A loud sound echoed through the chamber. One of the chains shattered like glass, and the woman's eyes opened wide. They were glowing gold. She gasped, then screamed, but it wasn't fear. It was power. The room filled with light. Liam fell back as energy swirled around her. The remaining chains pulled tight as if trying to stop her from waking. "You, are not one of them," she said in a deep voice. "You are human." Liam stood slowly. "Who are you?" She looked at him, confused. "My name, is Alira. I have been here for 500 years. He couldn't believe it. 500. She nodded weakly. "They chained me here. My people, my own blood. I was too dangerous," they said. "I saw too much. I loved too much." "Why were you calling me?" "I wasn't," she replied. "But your touch woke something old, something waiting." Liam looked around. The mountain walls had started to crack. He had a feeling they weren't alone anymore. "What happens now?" he asked. She looked at him with tired but burning eyes. "Now, the guardians will wake. They will come for us. They will not let me go." "Then let's leave," he said quickly. "I can't," Alira whispered. "Not yet. I'm not whole." Suddenly, the mountain rumbled again. This time, it was louder. A roar echoed deep from below. Something was rising. Liam helped her stand. She was weak, but still had strength in her legs. "Why me?" he asked. She looked into his eyes. "Because only a human heart can break the curse." The air in the chamber was thick with energy. Liam's heart beat fast. He had never felt anything like this before. Alira stood beside him, weak but glowing. Her long silver hair moved slowly, even though there was no wind. Her golden eyes stared into the distance like she could see something he couldn't. "I dreamed for centuries," she said softly, "but your touch felt real." Liam looked at the broken chain on the wall. "What are you? A queen? A warrior?" "I was both," she answered. "But now, I'm something else. Something broken." The room started to hum low and deep. From the cracks in the walls, strange lights began to glow. Blue, then red, then bright gold. Illyra's head turned sharply. They heard the chain break. Who? The Watchers. Liam felt the ground shake. Far below, deep inside the mountain, something massive was waking up. "We have to leave now," Illyra said, her voice urgent. "This place will become a tomb again, for both of us." She took a step, then stumbled. Liam caught her, and for a moment, their eyes locked. "You still have power," Liam whispered. She shook her head. "Only a small spark, right? The curse took most of it. The rest of me is buried, far away." Liam helped her toward the open door. But as they stepped into the outer tunnel, something stopped them. A sound. A deep roar. It's like metal grinding against stone. Illyra's face turned pale. "Of them is near." Suddenly, a massive shape crawled out of the shadows ahead. A creature made of molten rock and glowing runes. Its eyes burned like fire, and it moved with heavy steps. Cracking the ground beneath it, Liam pulled out his small energy blade. Useless against this. He knew it. "Run," Illyra said. They turned back, deeper into the mountain, chased by the burning giant. The tunnel twisted and dropped sharply. Crystals on the walls burst as the monster came closer. They reached a narrow path over an old stone bridge. Lava boiled far below. One wrong step meant death. Halfway across, the bridge shook. The creature had reached them. It raised one burning hand in through a fireball. Illyra stepped forward. She lifted her hand in. A glowing shield of light appeared, blocking the blast. Liam stared in shock. "You said your power was gone." "Not all of it," she said, "but it won't last." The second blast hit her shield and, this time, it cracked. Liam did the only thing he could. He ran straight at the monster. It turned to him, ready to strike. But before it could move, Illyra shouted a word in a language older than time and the creature froze. It began to tremble. Then it shattered into pieces. Falling into the lava below, the bridge cracked. Liam grabbed Illyra's hand as they jumped to the other side just in time, breathing hard. They fell to the ground. "You're insane," Illyra said, looking at him. "You're welcome," Liam replied. She smiled, just a little. "You're very human." They stood again. Ahead of them was another door, smaller, covered in vines and glowing dust. "This leads to the world above," Illyra said. "Then let's go." Just before they pushed it open, Illyra touched Liam's shoulder. "There's something I didn't tell you," she said quietly. "When I touched you, I saw something." "What?" "A memory. It's not mine, yours, but it was from a time long before you were born." Liam stared at her, confused. "How is that possible?" "I don't know," she whispered, "but I think we've met before." The mountain was quiet again, but the silence felt wrong too heavy. Still, Liam and Alira stepped out of the old tunnel and into the open world. The sky above them was dark, even though it was still daytime. Thick gray clouds circled the mountain's peak. A cold wind blew through the trees. Alira looked tired. Her steps were slow. Her glowing skin was dim now, like her light was fading. "We don't have much time," she whispered. Liam stayed close. "What's happening now?" "When my chains broke," she said, "they felt it. The ones who cursed me, my enemies. They know I'm awake now. Can they come here?" She nodded. "They will." Liam's eyes moved across the valley below. Strange shapes moved through the forest. Fast. Too fast. "What are those?" he asked. "Hunters," she said, "made of shadow and fire. They were created to keep me asleep forever." Liam's chest tightened. "How do we fight them?" "We don't," she replied. "Not yet. We run." They started moving through the tall grass, Alira guiding the way. Her feet barely touched the ground, like she remembered the earth even after 500 years. But the shadows followed them closer and closer. Suddenly, one of the creatures leapt from the trees. It had a long body like smoke and burning red eyes. Its claws tore through the air. Liam grabbed a broken spear from the ground and struck it as it jumped. The weapon passed through the creature like it was fog, but the hit made it pause. Alira raised her hand. A bright flash of blue light came from her palm hand. The creature screamed before vanishing into dust. Liam blinked. "You said your power was weak." "It is," Alira said. "But it listens when I protect someone." They didn't stop running. Deeper into the forest, they reached a quiet place with large standing stones. Alira stopped in front of one. "This is an old place," she said. "A temple, ... before it was broken." She knelt and placed her hand on the stone. The ground trembled and the stone lit up with ancient symbols. "I need to remember who I am," she whispered. Liam looked around, nervous. "Can we do this later? They're still chasing us." "No," she said. "The part of me they sealed is calling. I have to find it." Suddenly, Alira's body lifted slightly off the ground. Kara, eyes closed. Light wrapped around her. Liam stepped back as the stone cracked. A vision shot into Alira's mind. She saw her past clearly now. She was a warrior of stars, a protector of worlds. But her own sister, Queen Zyrene, feared her love for humans. Alira had touched one human long ago, just like she had touched Liam now. That's why they cursed her. That's why they chained her to the mountain. They thought love made her weak, but it made her strong. She opened her eyes. "Liam," she said slowly, "I remember, ... you were there." Liam frowned. "What do you mean? In my first life, you were the same, a human. You tried to protect me. You died in my arms." "That's impossible." "Maybe," she said, "but some memories never die. They just sleep, ... like I did." Before he could respond, a loud sound ripped through the sky. A large portal opened above the forest. Dark shapes floated through. Soldiers, machines, flying ships made of black metal. Alira looked up. "They sent the death squad. This time, they won't just try to chain me. They'll try to destroy me." "What do we do?" Liam asked. "We don't run anymore," she said. She touched her chest, and a symbol appeared, a glowing mark, shaped like a star. Her full power had not returned, but enough of it had awakened. "I'll hold them," Alira said. "You must find the ruins below this land. Something waiting for you." "What is it?" "The reason you found me. The key to everything." Liam didn't want to leave her, but he nodded. "I'll come back." Alira smiled softly. "You always do." Then she turned toward the sky, where the enemy ships were descending. Fast, her body rose into the air again, wrapped in wind and starlight. The hunters rushed from the forest. Soldiers followed with heavy weapons, and Alira stood alone against them all. Liam turned and ran toward the hidden ruins, the memory of her light burning in his mind. The enemies had woken, but so had something else, something they had feared for centuries. The sky above the mountain burned with light as Alira stood tall, her body glowing with power. The enemy ships circled overhead like dark birds ready to strike. The air shook with their engines, and fire fell from the sky. But Alira didn't run. She closed her eyes and raised her hands. A golden shield rose around her, blocking the blasts. The ground beneath her cracked, but she didn't move. Far below, Liam ran through a narrow path in the woods, heading toward the ruins Alira had spoken of. Trees rushed past him. His heart was heavy, not just from fear, but from something else. A memory, a strange feeling that Alira was more than just a powerful alien. She was connected to him, somehow. Meanwhile, Alira stood alone, her strength fading with each strike from above. Up her feet slid across the stone. Her arms trembled. But something inside her began to change. She looked up at the black clouds and whispered, "I remember now." A sharp pain shot through her chest, not from a weapon, but from her heart. Her thoughts pulled her back deep into the past, before she was chained, before the mountain. She had been a star-born warrior, a protector, loved by her people, respected. Her sister, Ziarine, was queen, then beautiful, powerful, and proud. But everything changed the day Alira met a human. He was a traveler, lost in their galaxy. He was kind, brave, curious. He had no powers, no army. But he had something Alira's people had forgotten, heart full of emotion. Alira had saved him once from a storm on their world, and in time, she began to care for him. She had tried to hide it, but love leaves signs. Queen Ziarine had seen it in her eyes. The way Alira looked at him, the way her voice changed when he spoke, and Ziarine felt shame, fear. "Our blood is pure," she had told Alira. "We do not fall for weak creatures." But Alira didn't listen. Love made her strong, so Ziarine made a choice. She called Alira to the royal chamber. There, in front of their people, Ziarine whispered false words. She betrayed our kind. She gave power to the humans, and the court believed it. They stripped Alira of her title. Her power was sealed. Her soul was chained to a mountain where no one would find her and her human. He was killed, burned in silence. Alira had screamed, but no one had listened. Now, standing on the same world centuries later, she remembered it all, not just the pain, but the truth. Her eyes opened wide. It was never about me being dangerous. It was about me being different. In the sky, the enemy ships began to move closer. Soldiers dropped from the air, their weapons glowing. Alira lowered her shield and stood still. One soldier pointed a cannon at her. "Surrender," cursed one, but Alira didn't raise her hands. Instead, she spoke softly. "Do you know what fear truly is?" The soldier paused. "What?" "Fear," Alira said, "stepping forward is loving something your heart can't control, and killing it to protect your lies." The air exploded with energy. Her body lifted from the ground as golden fire wrapped around her. Her chains may have broken, but her power was still tied to the truth she'd hidden for too long. The soldiers opened fire, but every blast stopped inches from her skin and turned to ash. She raised one hand, and a wave of golden light spread through the valley, knocking back the enemies like leaves in the wind. Her voice was no longer soft. It echoed with power. "You buried me in darkness. Now feel the light I became." Far away, Liam reached the ancient ruins. He stepped through a broken gate, covered in glowing vines. At the center stood a tall, statued woman with her arms open to the stars. It looked just like Alira. Liam walked closer. There was writing on the base of the statue. Words in 2 languages, 1 alien, 1 human. He read them aloud. 1 love, 2 lives. Time cannot break what the soul remembers. Suddenly, the ground glowed under his feet. The statue lit up, and golden dust circled around him. He saw visions again clear this time. He saw himself, not as Liam, but as the same human who had once loved Elira long ago. He had returned to her, not by accident, but by fate. Liam fell to his knees, eyes wide. I've lived this before. Think a voice entered his mind, Lyra's voice. Now, you understand? We were never strangers. We were a story, paused, and now continued. In the darkness of deep space, far beyond the mountains and forests of the alien world, a cold throne sat inside a ship made of black crystal. On that throne sat Queen Cyrene. Her silver crown sparkled, but her eyes were full of fire. A soldier kneeled before her. My queen, the prisoner has broken the seal. Elira is free. Queen Cyrene did not blink. Her face was calm, but her voice was sharp. Send to hunters. The soldier looked up in fear. All of them, Your Majesty. Cyrene stood. Every single one. I want her back in chains, or in pieces. Back on the planet, Liam was still standing in front of the glowing statue. The golden dust around him had faded, but something inside him had changed. He now knew the truth. He had once loved Elira long ago. In another life, he had died protecting her. Now, he had returned reborn as Liam, but this time he would not let her fall. He turned away from the ruins and ran back toward the mountain, his heart full of fire. Meanwhile, Elira stood in the valley, her body glowing with the last of her power. The air around her felt strange, still, too still. She looked up. The sky turned black, not from clouds, but from ships. The hunters had arrived. Dozens of black ships circled above, dropping long, thin figures onto the ground. The hunters were tall, with skin like polished metal and eyes that burned red. They did not speak. Elira took a step back. She was not afraid, but she was tired, very tired. Still, she stood tall. I warned you once, she said to the sky. I will not be chained again. The hunters spread out around her. Their weapons glowed with blue fire. They didn't wait. They attacked. Elira raised her hand and created a wall of golden light. The blasts hit it hard, shaking her to the bone. Her shield cracked and sparks flew. She pushed forward, firing back waves of energy. A few hunters fell, but more kept coming. She was outnumbered, and her strength was fading fast. Suddenly, a loud voice echoed across the valley. Hey, get away from her. It was Liam. He came running from the forest, holding a strange device. From the ruins an ancient alien crystal that pulsed with energy. He didn't know what it was, but somehow it responded to him. He pointed it at the nearest hunter. A beam of light shot out pure and white. It struck the hunter and sent it flying back. Elira turned, surprised. You came back? She said. I told you I would, Liam answered, standing beside her. She smiled. Just a little. You never stopped doing that. More hunters came at them. Liam and Elira fought side by side. Her power, his crystal. Together, they pushed the enemy back, step by step. But the sky grew darker. A larger ship appeared, a different one, more powerful, more deadly. From it came a new figure, a woman, tall, glowing, dressed in black and silver armor. Queen Cyrene. She floated down like a shadow with wings. Her eyes were cold. Elira stared at her, heart pounding. Sister, she said. Cyrene looked at her. You should have stayed asleep. You feared my heart, Elira said. You feared I could love. I feared your weakness, Cyrene growled. And now, look, you've brought back the human again. Liam stepped forward. You killed me once. You won't do it again. Cyrene narrowed her eyes. Then I'll make sure this time. Your soul burns too. She raised her hands, and the sky split with black lightning. A storm of dark energy rushed toward them. Elira jumped in front of Liam, protecting him. The shield rose, barely holding. She screamed as the force hit her. Her knees hit the ground. Blood dripped from her nose. Liam held her. Don't give up, Moan. We're not finished. She looked into his eyes. If I fall, promise me you'll keep fighting. No, he said. We fight together. Always. Suddenly, the crystal in Liam's hand glowed brighter. Kate responded to his words. To his bond with Elira. The light spread from his chest, golden lines across his skin. Elira stared at him in shock. You're not just a memory of the one I loved. You're the key to breaking everything. The light from Liam struck the sky. Cyrene shielded her eyes. The valley filled with blinding power. And then, silence. When the light faded. The hunters were gone. The ship had pulled back. Cyrene disappeared into the storm. Elira collapsed into Liam's arms. Did we win? He asked. For now, she said, breathing slowly. But the final battle is still ahead. The wind was cold. The sky was quiet. Liam held Elira in his arms. Her breathing was slow. Her glow had faded. The golden light that once wrapped around her skin was now soft and weak. She had used all her strength to protect him, to stop her sister's army, and now she was slipping away. Liam placed a hand on her cheek. Stay with me, please. Lyra opened her eyes slowly. You were always the brave one. You're not going to die, Liam said, his voice shaking. I didn't find you again, just to lose you. Lyra smiled faintly. You were not meant to carry this burden. Suddenly, the ancient crystal in Liam's pocket began to glow again. It floated into the air by itself. Lines of golden light stretched from the crystal to Elira's body. Her eyes widened. It's choosing you. What does that mean? Liam asked. She reached for his hand. My power is inside you now. Liam's body lit up. Strange markings appeared on his arms and chest. They were glowing, the same color as Elira's chains when they first met. I don't understand, Liam said, stepping back. You're not just a human anymore, Elira said weakly. You've become something else. My light and my legacy. Before Liam could speak again, the sky cracked open. A loud sound echoed across the valley. Queen Cyrene had returned. Her ship hovered above the mountain and rolled from its engines. A dark voice came through the air. One chance, Elira. Surrender, or the human dies. Elira tried to stand, but her legs gave out. Liam caught her. You're not strong enough, he said. Then you must be, she replied suddenly. The ground shook. A hunter dropped from the sky and landed right in front of them. It raised its long blade, aiming at Liam. But Liam didn't step back. He raised his hand, and light exploded from his body. The blade stopped in midair. The hunter froze. Then, in a flash, it broke into dust and vanished. Elira gasped. You awakened the true power. Liam looked at his hands. I don't know how I did that. It's because you didn't try to control it, Elira said. You felt, you protected. That's the secret. More hunters dropped from the sky. 5, 10, 15. Liam stood in front of Elira. I won't let them take you. Elira closed her eyes. She whispered an ancient word. Suddenly, Liam felt her thoughts inside his mind. Let me guide you. Let me show you how to use it. Together, they moved. Like one. Liam rushed forward, golden energy swirling around him. He jumped high, striking two hunters with blasts of pure light. They shattered like glass. Elira, still weak, raised her hand from behind and gave him her remaining power. Their connection was complete now. Liam fought like a warrior from another world. He wasn't just fighting for her, he was fighting with her. But Queen Cyrene had one more weapon, Her voice filled the sky again. Liam, she said coldly, do you even know the truth? If you love her, she will die. Liam stopped. What? Lyra's face turned pale. She hadn't wanted him to know. It's part of the curse, she said quietly. If the one I love returns, and I accept that love, my life ends. Liam's eyes filled with pain. Why didn't you tell me? It's 'cause I wanted to. Live, even for a moment, with you. Above them, Irene laughed. You see now? Your love is her end. Liam looked at Illyra. She looked at him. No, he said. Our love is her rebirth. He took her hand. The moment their fingers touched, the light around them exploded brighter than the sun. The entire valley lit up. Trees shook. Stones cracked. Even the sky seemed to change. From deep inside Illyra's chest, the curse broke. A burst of pure energy flew from her body. Her chains, the last hidden ones, shattered into golden dust. Her eyes opened wide, and then she rose. Not weak, not cursed, but reborn. Her body floated into the air. Her long silver hair turned to fire. Her skin glowed like a star. Irene's ship backed away, afraid. Illyra's voice was calm, but powerful. You feared my heart. Now fear my power. She raised both hands, and from the earth rose pillars of light. The hunters screamed and vanished. The skies cleared. Liam watched in awe. She was no longer the prisoner. She was the storm. Then, slowly, she floated down to him. Are you okay? He asked. She smiled. I'm free. He reached for her, but she stopped him. We have one more battle, she said. It's the final one. She won't stop until everything burns. Liam nodded. Then let's finish it. Double quotes together. The sky was quiet after the battle. The mountain no longer trembled. The golden light around Illyra slowly faded as she returned to the ground beside Liam. The air smelled like rain, even though there were no clouds now. It was calm, but something felt unfinished. Liam looked at her, breathing hard. You did it. You broke the curse. Illyra nodded slowly. Yes, but it's not over. High above them, Queen Irene's black ship still floated, watching. She's still there, Liam said, pointing toward the sky. Illyra's eyes narrowed. She won't stop. She's not afraid of losing her army. She's afraid of losing control. Suddenly, the ship's doors opened, and Irene herself stepped out, floating in midair, surrounded by black energy. Her face showed no emotion. Her silver crown shone like cold fire. This is your last warning, Irene called down. Return with me, or I will erase both of you from time itself. Lyra stepped forward. Here, my love, because you never understood it. Irene's voice turned sharp. Love weakens gods. You were meant to rule the stars, not fall for a creature of dirt. Liam looked up at her and raised his voice. Not just dirt. I'm the reason your curse is broken. Irene's eyes glowed red. Then you are the reason she will fall. She raised her hands, calling down a storm of black lightning. It cracked the sky and rained down toward them. Illyra didn't move. Liam stepped in front of her, but before the lightning touched them, Illyra lifted her hand, and everything froze. Time itself seemed to stop. I'm done running, she said, and I'm done being your prisoner. She floated into the air, rising slowly toward her sister. Liam watched her rise, proud but afraid. What if this was the end? Above the mountain, the two sisters faced each other. Irene's voice shook with anger. You would give up eternity for a human. Lyra's answer was calm. Yes, you would give up the stars. Yes, Irene's hands trembled. You would give up your power. Illyra smiled gently. No, I would give up your power, 'cause what I have now, you'll never understand. And then she did the unthinkable. Illyra opened her arms and let go of her power. The light inside her stronger than fire, older. Then time poured out like golden rain. It filled the sky, touching every tree, every rock, every blade of grass. The black ship cracked. Cyrene screamed, "No, you fool, you're throwing it away." But it was too late. The light entered the land. The curse that had poisoned the mountain for centuries broke completely. The chains were gone, not just from Illyra, but from the planet itself. Illyra floated down, her feet touching the ground again. She looked different now, still beautiful, still glowing softly, but no longer a goddess. She was human, and Liam was waiting. He ran to her and held her tight. "You're one of us now." She smiled, resting her head on his shoulder. It's what I chose. But your power," he whispered. "I didn't lose it," she replied. "I gave it to life." High above, Cyrene's ship cracked and vanished into the sky. The queen had lost. Not by war, not by death, but by love, by something she could never control. Hours passed. The sun began to rise for the first time in years over the cursed mountain. Villagers from nearby came to see the glowing valley. Flowers had started growing again. Trees stood tall. Birds sang above the trees like they knew a dark history had ended. Liam and Illyra sat beside a quiet stream. Her feet touched the water like it was new to her. "So, what now?" Liam asked. Illyra looked at him with soft eyes. "Now we live. Where? Anywhere. Everywhere," she said. "As long as I'm beside you." He laughed. "You gave up immortality for me. That's going to be hard to beat." She smiled and leaned her head against him. "You gave me something greater than time. You gave me now." As the sun rose higher, they stood and walked together down the path, no longer a human and a chained goddess, but two souls who had finally found each other again. And far away, in the quiet stars, a new legend was born. Not about power, not about war, but about a simple truth. Sometimes love is stronger than gods.